Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bulldog Report. Well, the Blue Division is on the line, first place in this two-game series between the Metuchen Bulldogs and the Spotswood Chargers, who both come into this game undefeated in Blue Division play. Metuchen 8-1 overall in the season, Spotswood 7-2. Both have won all 6 contests that they've played within the Blue Division. Should be a very fun and competitive game, and definitely the biggest test for the Bulldogs so far this season, at least in conference play. Metuchen's only loss came against North Hunterdon last Saturday. They lost 16-7, but they definitely restored some confidence in that most recent series, won back-to-back games against Dunellen by a combined 28-1 score. In the last game, an 11-1 victory on Tuesday on the road. Matt Rowe, Joseph Fenton, and Max Kunrich with 2 RBI each, while Marcus Malimo turned in 5 solid innings on the mound, allowing just 3 hits, a run, and 9 strikeouts. On the other side, for Spotswood, they dominated in a series as well. They outscored Highland Park 32-0 over 2 games. Both games ended in the mercy rule. They won 14-0 in the second game. Really strong performance there. Ethan Williams for them went 3 for 3 at a double, a triple, and 3 RBI. Also in the game, Justin Prosch also had multiple RBI, and Ryan Paulson was the story on the mound, pitching 5 perfect innings. The story for Spotswood, their offense has been strong, but the 2 things carrying them has been their pitching staff and their stolen bases. They have 55 steals this season, 5 different players with at least 4, including 9 for Tyler Lewandowski, a senior. So Metuchen pitchers are going to have to be wary of constant motion on the base paths. And looking at Metuchen, of course, their offense has been one of the primary reasons why. As we'll take a look at this graphic with some of their top hitters, Jack Barry especially hitting .611 with 15 RBI. All of those guys listed seniors, but there's a lot of underclassmen who have certainly been impressing as well. But we are just about set to get ready to go, just a few moments away from baseball here. First game of 2 here between Metuchen and Spotswood. This is a tough stretch for the Bulldogs. They face Spotswood, who's currently tied for first here for 2 games, and then have to deal with Middlesex, who is third in the Blue Division, for their next 2 contests. So some challenges ahead, but definitely have to be excited about what's to come here for Metuchen, as this will be a real proving ground test for this team. Metuchen coached by Leo Danek, Spotswood by Glenn Fredericks. Metuchen, of course, as we've mentioned before, went 13-9 in the 2019 season, no season last year. They went 7-3 in the Blue Division with losses in the GMC quarterfinal and the JSI AA Central Jersey Group 2 Round 1 against Bordentown. As for Spotswood, they had a tough year in 2019, even though they had a lot of upperclassmen, including Matt Vento, who was a star on the mound and at the plate. They went 9-15 despite a 6-4 Blue Division record. They ended up in the GMC Invitational prior to the actual tournament, and they ended up being eliminated in the quarterfinals, and then lost to Robbinsville in round 1 of the CJ Group 2 tournament. But it's been a turnaround so far, coming off of that season, which was their first since 2015, where they finished below 500. They had 3 consecutive strong seasons before that. But we're just about set and ready to go. Should be a great day of baseball here between Metuchen and Spotswood. And as for the Bulldogs, getting games like this should be a real test. Of course, they've had the one tough loss already that they had to deal with when they ended up falling to North Hunterdon, but this is a game where it's evenly matched. This is a good test because, same with the softball team, despite Metuchen's 2 ball and stick sport teams at a combined 16-1 right now, when they have to play teams in the higher divisions, the red division, the gold division, it's going to be a challenge. So they've got to be excited about where they're at right now and what could potentially be ahead for this squad. But getting some tests and getting prepared will be key. And taking a look at the mound for the Bulldogs, They send their ace out there. It'll be Matt Rowe towing the rubber for the third time this season. He had his start on Monday, cut short. The game was rainy. That was actually our last stream, so he's able to come back per NJSIAA rules here fairly quickly. Only threw 38 pitches, went 3 hitless innings, struck out 8 of the 9 batters he's faced. He's only allowed 2 base runners through 10 innings this season, 26 strikeouts here at this point. But we are almost ready. Taking a look at some of the defensive alignment just in front of us on this camera, you can see Jack Barry, number 17 in right field. Luke Schleck is at first. Looks like Lucas Weiss, just like last game, will be at second base. Good. I believe that's Kuhnrich over at third, Fenton at short, and Spotswood gets ready to send up the leadoff man. Lakaski is the battery mate as you pan out. See, it's a nice day. Partly cloudy skies. Great day for baseball after a little bit of rain this week, and it's going to be a little bit of a chilly weekend, but game time temperature right now sitting at 64 degrees here in the Brainy Borough. As we're ready to go, Spotswood in blue, Metuchen in their gray uniforms with the white and blue stripes on the bottom, white cap with the blue brim. Luke Schleck in the infield will come in for a quick meeting at the mound with their ace, Matt Rowe. 10 hitless innings. Can he keep the streak going in his toughest test so far this season? We're about to find out. As Spotswood gets ready to go, it'll be Tyler Lewandowski leading off for the Chargers. And we're set to go in a big 2-game set between the top 2 teams in the Blue Division. If you hear any background noise, there is also a freshman-sophomore track meet that is actually, because of how we're set up, closer to us than the baseball game actually is. So, because we are in the broadcast booth, which is at the football field. But the first pitch here is in there for a strike on the outside corner of the plate. And Matt Rowe gets things started at an 0-1 count. Marcus Malimo was phenomenal in the last game on the mound for Metuchen. Rowe, of course, pitched well Monday before the rain cut things short. And then a mercy rule ensued. They pulled him out after 3 innings. Good job to get him some work, but to keep him rested for this opportunity. 1 ball, 1 strike here against Lewandowski. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Lewandowski has been consistent, hitting .541 so far this season, 2 home runs, 11 RBI, and 9 stolen bases. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Rowe. Blooped foul down the first base side. Lewandowski's 2019 season as a sophomore hit .357 with 4 RBI. Weiss, the second baseman, shifted pretty far over on the first base side. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at the high fastball way out of the zone. Lewandowski frustrated that he chased that, but Matt Rowe starts off this game just as he's done throughout the season. Already 27 strikeouts this year as he strikes out Lewandowski to get things started. So 1 out, and the first pitch is going to miss outside here. Lakaski with the sign row, the windup, 1-0 pitch. This one chopped way foul. This is Casey Kaminsky at the plate. Kaminsky has been a two-way force, one of the younger players on the team. We also saw him, many of these names I recognize because they were on the Spotswood basketball team from this winter. Kaminsky, one of those, but hitting its team high .630. But didn't look like it there as he checks his swing, goes around. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the number 2 man in the order. He has a home run, 11 RBI, 7 stolen bases. 17 for 27 at the plate, but Rowe is ahead 1-2, takes the windup. Here's the pitch. That one chopped way foul off to the parking lot.
Athletes, do not run. Athletes.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Rowe, another foul ball. And you can tell if you watch the game that Metuchen played on Monday, there's a big difference from the Denellen hitters to these Spotswood hitters. They are able to at least make contact with these Rowe pitches. The Denellen hitters just seemed completely outclassed by each and every pitch here from the senior. 1-2. This one dribbled third base side, played on a hop. Throw to first is going to be in time to get him. And that'll be out number 2. Nearly the first hit allowed by Rowe so far this season, but not just yet, as a nice play over there at third base.
Final section. You can't move the hurdles after this. When we move them, just make a stack, all 6 together on the turf.
So third in the order comes to the plate here with nobody on, 2 outs in the top of the first, and the first pitch is outside for a ball. Rowe struggling to paint the outside corner compared to what he was able to do against Denellen, but here works it inside and gets a swing and a miss to even the count at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Cut on and missed yet again. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Rowe looking for a second strikeout and gets through the first inning unscathed. 1-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called, rung him up. Down goes Luke Johnson looking. 2 strikeouts here in the top of the first. Metuchen will bat next. Middle of the first inning, no score between the Bulldogs and the Chargers. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Bottom of the first inning, Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Casey Kaminsky on the mound, and we have quite the pitching matchup today. Kaminsky has had a great season, just a 1.75 ERA through 12 innings pitched. This is his 3rd start, and he struck out 24 hitters over those 12 innings. First batter, leadoff hitter, per the usual, is Alex Wood, who will take one upstairs for a ball. Wood, a junior, hitting .429, 5 RBI so far this season. Kaminsky with the big wind up the pitch. That one in there for a strike looking. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Kaminsky. Off-speed pitch misses off the plate. Nice take by Wood. Looking at the defensive alignment, you can see in right field that's Matt Frobosilo, a senior. Jeff Osborne is at first base. Second base is patrolled by Jackson Walsh. Here's the 2-1. Allen's in there for a strike to even the count at 2. So 2 strikeout-heavy pitchers. Expect to see a lot of Ks today, despite both of these teams having some very talented hitters. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one popped foul out of play. Ethan Williams gives it chase, but it's way out there. Here's the windup. 2-2 pitch is going to be up and away, and the count is full. So Alex Wood very disciplined out there, and now we've got a 3-2 count. There's the pitch. In there, strike three called. What a pitch by Kaminsky. Drops it in, freezes Wood, inner part of the plate, and Casey Kaminsky gets the first out here of the bottom of the first inning. Excellent placement right there from Wood. I believe this is Ian Lukaski up here, number 2 in the Metuchen order. First pitch from Kaminsky is going to miss inside, taken for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one chopped foul, out of play. Here's the offering. And that one got him. Hit by a pitch, and Ian Lukaski will be the first base runner here for the Dogs as he'll take the trot down to first base, and this will bring Matt Rowe up with the runner on first. So runner on first, 1 out for Rowe, who has been dangerous with the bat as well this season, hitting .471 with 10 RBI. A big jump from 2019 where his average was just at .316, and that first pitch misses upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Stepping off, Kaminsky fires over to first, but Lukaski dives in safely. Even faked me out, and Osborne nearly got Lukaski despite not having a huge lead. Lukaski does not bring a ton of speed there, but got to be careful. Again, a check on him, and Lukaski's able to dive back in. But twice in a row, very close. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be in there for a strike. So Rowe looking for something here. With 1 out and the runner at first. Here's the pitch. That one way upstairs, so Kaminsky having trouble locating the fastball here in the bottom of the first inning. Lukaski's at first base. He got drilled with a 1-1 pitch after Wood struck out looking in a count that went full. So Kaminsky's pitch count already starting to take a hike here in the first inning. And running as Lukaski gets the jump before the throw. Now he's caught in the rundown. Throw to first to Osborne. Lukaski tries to outrun him. Tag at second. Lukaski dives in, but he's out. Lukaski tried to fool Kaminsky, but he almost actually did. Osborne really hesitated to throw to second, but Lukaski does get picked off. Ken Smith, the first base coach, you can see with some words for Lukaski after that. But a pickoff and a rundown, and now the Metuchen threat is over. So 2 outs, nobody on here. And this pitch to Rowe is going to miss inside.
100 meters to go.
Here's the pitch from Kaminsky. Rowe fouls that one off.
Unofficially, right around 438. .445, 447, 448.
Wind up. Here's the pitch to Rowe. Inside, ball 4. So Rowe will end up trading places with Lukaski, and Metuchen has a 2-out base runner. So Kaminsky is not allowed a hit yet, but multiple base runners here. And Metuchen will seek a 2-out rally. They'll send in Slowitzky to pinch run for Matt Rowe. We saw this the other day as well. And they'll once again take a check, but Slowitzky much more dangerous on the base paths than Lukowski. Takes a decent lead at first, but you know Metuchen isn't going to be as aggressive after seeing how Lukowski's time at first base fared, as that one's fouled back. Another quick move, but a nice dive in. As you can see, that's a little dangerous. Kaminsky has a very good pickoff move where it looks like he's throwing to the mound, and it's almost like he can just pivot his legs very quickly and get the throw over to first. That one upstairs is going to miss for a ball. Kaminsky definitely not locating his fastball as well as we might have expected. Another play at first, another close play. Osborne puts down the tag, but Slowitzky dives in safely. Bottom of the first inning, no score here between Metuchen and Spotswood, both undefeated in the Blue Division. One of them will suffer their first divisional loss of the season here. As that one in there for a called strike on the outer part of the zone. Another throwback to first. And barely getting back in once again with Slowitzky. This is already the 6th attempted pickoff.
This is student section for sophomore boys.
Shocking to see how many times he's throwing over.
They're trying to give you their
Big swing there, fouled off.
If it's anything like that last one, it should be a good one too.
2 outs, runner on first, bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch. This one driven out to left center field, coming in, looking to make a play. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Diving, sliding into third safely. That is a single right there. And Metuchen has runners on the corners. So a nice bit of hitting there at the cleanup spot. Already the third base runner. And now runners on the corners here with 2 away. First pitch from Kaminsky is going to get in there on a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one way upstairs, nearly got away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The result of the girls' 400-meter hurdle, freshman, top 6. 6th place, Nyla Bird, Grand Focus Valley, 85-35. 5th place, Beyonce.
Check back on first. Runner dives back in safely.
07. 4th place, Ciara Marsh, Highland Park, 81-08. 3rd place,
That's Nick Dillon, by the way, over at first, who had that single. As this one chopped back to the mound, throw to first in time, and that will retire the side. Nice hustle, but not enough. Metuchen strands 2. End of the first inning, no score. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Spotswood coming up to bat next. Top of the second inning about to get underway. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Now, Matt Rowe has had an incredible season, and just taking a look, Metuchen's got some great pitchers, but 10 innings pitched, no runs allowed, also no hits allowed, 26 strikeouts coming into this, already has 2 strikeouts today. And he'll first face Jeff Osborne, who had a very active last inning with multiple attempts diving in with pickoffs, and they weren't able to get Lukaski after a terrible base running blunder on his part, but never actually picked off anybody else. But Metuchen had some opportunities wasted. 1 ball, 1 strike here to the Charger cleanup hitter.
Here we come into the home stretch. Highland Regional.
There's a swing and a miss on a fastball up in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes here from Rowe to Osborne. Osborne this season hitting .381, 7 RBI. Has also pitched 3 scoreless innings as a relief pitcher. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, got him. Matt Rowe K's another 3 strikeouts through an inning and a third. That's number 29 this season for Rowe. And we've got 1 out here in the second inning. So Rowe, the Rutgers commit, just keeps rolling as that first pitch will miss up and away for a ball.
Results can be found on Miles Split.
That pitch in there for a strike. Now count even at 1-1. Rowe with the windup. The 1-1 pitch, chopped foul. This is Jackson Walsh, the second baseman. Ethan Williams stands on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the second inning. Lukaski the sign, Rowe the windup, 1-2 pitch. Fanned and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Rowe. That's 4 through the first inning and 2/3. And he'll hope to strike out the side here as he faces the hottest hitter coming in, Ethan Williams, hitting .633 so far this season out of the 6th hole as a junior. Did not play at all last year. Of course, he was a freshman 2 years ago in the 2019 season. He was a freshman, did not play on the varsity team. So this is his first experience at the varsity level and is certainly proving himself right away. And that's a foul tip into the glove. And Rowe quickly getting ahead. There's the pitch. That one misses upstairs. Good eye. This one popped up first base side, long run, and that's going to go out of play. So Williams will get ready again. 2 strikes here. Rowe looking to strike out the side. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Matt Rowe K's the side. 5 strikeouts for 2 innings for the senior, the commit to Rutgers. He's certainly making himself Scarlet Knight ready so far this season. 12 hitless innings so far for Rowe. Metuchen will look to come back after a tough bottom of the first inning against Kaminsky. Middle of the second, no score between the Bulldogs and the Chargers. Right here on the Bulldog Report, your source for Metuchen High School sports. So we're getting ready for the bottom of the second inning right now. Really exciting contest so far between Metuchen and Spotswood here. Baseball Friday afternoon. These teams face off again on Saturday. Casey Kaminsky gets ready for his second inning of work as Jack Barry, the 6-hole hitter, will lead off the second. Metuchen got a hit by pitch, a walk, and a single by Nick Dillon, but not enough to plate a run in the last inning. Barry, though, knows a lot about plating runs. He leads the team with 15 RBI and a .611 batting average, really having a standout senior year. And Barry gets all of one out to left center field, gets out of our camera view, and they'll go on the run, and Barry will try to go all the way around. Barry goes to second. He'll stop there. It's a leadoff double as the ball comes in quickly and a nice recovery in the outfield. But it's a leadoff double for Jack Barry, and Metuchen has a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Great contact. You could hear the crack of the bat. Even from here up in the press box, sounded like great contact, like he squared that ball right up. And now Barry is halfway around to plating the first Bulldog run. So runner on second, nobody out. Kaminsky takes a quick check. First pitch is cut on and fouled off by Luke Schleck. Schleck, a senior, he has been very improved. Hit 156 as a sophomore. So far this season, no, it's only 9 games through. Still a long way to go, but he's hitting .500 right now. And that pitch is in there for a strike. So Kaminsky has been able to locate the corners, but there's been some pitches that have missed. And it's been high heat that a lot of these Metuchen hitters really thrive upon, including that one fastball that Jack Barry just drilled. This one, a grounder. Tough play at second. Walsh throws to first on a hop, and it looks like they got the out. Schleck is retired. Barry will advance to third, though. That's a nice play over there by Walsh. So 1 out, and this will bring up the 8th spot in the order as the first pitch is in there for a strike. This is Marcus Malimo. And he's in a bounce one. This should play to run. They're going to throw home, and the slide, he's in safely. Great jump by Barry. He dives in, and the Bulldogs take a 1-0 lead. So Malimo does a great job there as he'll bring him home. He'll dive in safely back to first. But good fundamental baseball here. We know this could be a very low-scoring contest. But a double by Barry and 2 successful groundouts to the left side. One over to second base, actually, that was able. And that's really good fundamental baseball. Being able to hit the ball away from where the runner is to make it difficult for them to get the runner out via any sort of force play. As that pitch is in there for a strike to Fenton. Ground ball over to second, got Barry over to third, and then there Malimo bounced one over. It was a nice throw from Lewandowski, but ultimately just a bit late as they'll take a peek at Malimo, who slides back in safely. So Marcus Malimo, who was only batting .125 so far this season, maybe that can turn the tide for him. Not the best contact, but you know, he did the job for sure as he gets home with his 3rd RBI so far this season.
Isaac, Leo, you guys make sure you cool down.
Here's the pitch. Fenton takes that one up and in at the hands. So bottom of the second inning, Metuchen now leads it 1-0. Here's the pitch from Kaminsky. Cut on and missed by Fenton. Strike 3. Kaminsky picks up his second strikeout, and there's 2 away. And this will get it back around to the top of the order, and Alex Wood, who struck out looking to start the game in a lengthy at-bat, will come to the plate here. Metuchen ready with a run home in the inning, looking to extend the lead in the throw to first. Malimo dives back in safely. That pitch is high for a ball.
If you are a long jumper, you should be down there now, getting your final jumps in. Athletes, remember you cannot...
Wood hits a bouncing ball over to short. They'll go the long way down to first, and Lewandowski got him. Side retired. Close bang-bang play, but Lewandowski with a nice throw. He could have gone the short way to second, but gets the job done nonetheless. Metuchen gets the job done as well. They'll play to run. A double by Barry. An RBI infield single by Marcus Malimo brings them home. Bulldogs lead 1-0 after 2. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. We'll be back for inning number 3. So here we go, top of the third inning. Matt Rowe back out there for a third inning of work. 2 hitless innings, 5 strikeouts so far for Rowe. As that pitch skips away for a ball. One. Caught on and missed. Strike 3, actually. That's strike 3 on the swing and a miss by Roman Carone. Strikeout number 6 now for Rowe. And there's 1 out here in the third. As Metuchen just continues to cruise. Rowe, of course, now starting a pageantry. This will be the second consecutive graduating class that sees a baseball commit to a Big Ten school from the Brainy Borough. Of course, last season for Metuchen, it was Jay Harry, who was just awarded as the Big Ten Player of the Week for last week with Penn State playing shortstop and in the regular batting order as a freshman there. So congratulations to him, first of all, on that honor. But Harry first to Penn State, Rowe to Rutgers. As Josh Hyman said on the podcast, there's a good chance Rowe as a pitcher at Rutgers, Harry as a hitter at Penn State could end up facing off one day in a Metuchen battle in the Big Ten. But regardless, this is really setting a nice precedent that the baseball program is continuing to expand, and we're seeing players being able to take it to the next level. That pitch cut on and fouled off. Here's the pitch from Rowe. This one driven out to right center field, coming in and making the running catch. Nice play out there. And that'll be out number 2. So Nick Vitale with a deep fly ball, but a nice catch for the Dogs. So 2 away, and this will bring up the 9-man in the order. And the first pitch here is a strike. There's Alex Wood out there who made that nice catch. As that one's going to miss low and away for a ball. Really impressive there for Wood to come over. Kind of called off Barry, but he had a read on the ball, and it paid off as this one is cut on and fouled down the first base side.
Ball right now. All sprint medley teams. All sprint medley teams report to the paddock area. At this point, we will have one section for freshman boys, one section for sophomore boys.
So 2 outs here, top of the third. Metuchen leading it 1-0 in the battle for first place in the Blue Division. These teams will go at it tomorrow as well, and swing and a miss off-speed pitch. Frobo Seelope chases that one out of the zone. That's now 7 strikeouts through 3 hitless, scoreless innings for Matt Rowe. He's now through 13 hitless innings so far this season. A deep fly ball by Vitale, but nothing else. Couple more strikeouts patted on by Rowe. Bulldogs will bat next here, middle of the third. Metuchen 1, Spotswood 0. All right, so bottom of the third inning, taking a look at what's to come. Like we said, this is the first of a 2-game series. A lot of the baseball that we see this year really based on, and softball as well, these 2-game sets. And Metuchen will go back at it with Spotswood on the road for Game 2 of this series tomorrow morning, while the softball team will be home on Tuesday. You can watch that Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock against Middlesex, right here on the Bulldog Report. Lakatsky, who was drilled with a pitch back in the first inning, will bat here. No balls and a strike, bottom of the third inning. We had track runners from Highland Park visiting us looking for medals. That's down on the field. Like we said, there's a freshman-sophomore track meet going on at Metuchen with about like 8 or so schools right now, so it's pretty busy. And typically for some of the other meets, that'll be there as Lakatsky will get drilled for the second time. Last time in the elbow, this time the left forearm, and he'll trot over to first base. But now the question is, can he fare better on the base paths than that chaotic stretch that he had earlier in this game? That one teed off and fouled down the left field side by Rowe.
Right now, we're looking at the
Rowe drew a walk and was stranded at third back in the first inning.
section with the 1600. After this, we're coming up to the freshman boys, one section followed by one section for the sophomore boys.
Here's the pitch. That one inside. Kaminsky's got to be careful here. He wants to establish the inner part of the zone, which is something that you're taught as a pitcher to do, but it feels like he doesn't have as much grip, and those pitches are sort of slipping away. We've already seen it hit 2 batters, and close play at first. Osborne thought he got him, but Lukaski dives in. Lukaski's got to be really attentive there because he's not even taking that big of lead, but Kaminsky's pickoff move is just deadly. This one popped up, shading over, coming way in is Lewandowski. He'll make the catch, and Lukaski heads back to first. So that's the first out here of the bottom of the third. And Nick Dillon, who singled, nearly plated a run back in the first inning, will bat here with Lukaski still at first and 1 away. Kaminsky checks over at first once again. Lukaski in. I believe this is the second time this inning. He threw 6 checks in the first, so this is already the 8th time he's checked just through those first 2 innings, and I know he did it a couple of times on Malimo in the second. And that one, another dive in. Lukaski back safely. But honestly, with a slow runner at first, my primary focus, if I was there right now, is not necessarily in picking off Lukaski, who's not going to try and steal a base, but to focus at the plate, because you've got someone in Nick Dillon who can strike the ball pretty well. Dillon, coming into this game, hitting .273, 2 RBI. In 2019, as a freshman, he was a standout, hitting .283 with 8 ribbies. This pitch here to Dillon is cut on, hard foul off the backstop, 1-1. Another check at first, third time. Lukaski much closer getting back in this time than the previous 2. Lukaski daring him with slightly bigger lead. And that one is not going to make it there in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike now.
We need all sprint medleys. All sprint medleys. Check in now. If you're in the sprint medley, if you're holding up a tie, you're running the sprint medley.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Lukaski's going to go to second. He tries to steal and he does it. Ian Lukaski with a bold move. The catcher steals a base. I talked about at the top of the show how Matt Rowe had to watch out for any potential Spotswood base runners, as they have 45 stolen bases to the team. Metuchen not really known for their speed, but great work right there, and Lukaski's now in scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kaminsky the pitch. In there, strike 3 called, bottom of the zone. Nick Dillon goes down looking. Strikeout number 3 for Kaminsky. So 2 outs, runner still at second. I believe this is Lucas Weiss at the plate here. And that first pitch got him. Looked like it got him just behind the batting helmet. Not sure exactly where. Actually, that was Kuhnrich, my bad. So Kuhnrich hit by a pitch. Already the 3rd Bulldog to get hit today. And now Jack Barry, who banged a double into left center and later scored, with a chance with 2 outs to extend the Metuchen lead. Hits a slow roller to the pitcher's mound. Off the mound, Kaminsky, throw to first. Osborne makes the play, steps on the bag, inning over. Bulldogs strand 2 more here, through 3 here in Brainy Borough. Metuchen leading it 1-0. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. So this is a perfect time to remind you to check out the newest episode of the Metuchen High School podcast, the online radio voice of MHS. A lot to get through in that newest episode. After the announcements from Itai Geller, myself, Eddie Kalegi, and Joe Stibich talked to Ms. Gazda to spotlight the PAWS Unified Physical Education Program. Great interview to showcase some of the great work they're doing and how they've adapted during the pandemic. Then myself and Josh Hyman, we would discuss all the latest action in Metuchen spring sports, including this baseball team, the softball team that's doing even better and undefeated, the track, tennis, and golf teams as well. And then myself, Eddie Kalegi, and Julia Hirschfield talked to Mr. John Messenger, the director of bands at the high school, to preview the spring concert. It'll be the first ensemble concert in over a year, coming up in just 2 weeks. It'll be outdoors, not in the auditorium, but still great to hear some sweet sounds here in this very art-heavy Metuchen town. But we get ready, focusing back on the field. If you want to watch the podcast, you can go to YouTube and check that out. Also, the Bulldog Report, of course, a collaboration between the podcast and the Media Club. If you want to help out with the Media Club, help out with these broadcasts, working with a camera, or even participating in film competitions, learning about how to work things behind a camera, and more, you can join the Media Club and contact Ben Salaski, who is their student advisor. Ben also helping out getting everything set up today, along with athletic director Mr. Cathcart, and we thank them both for that. So here we go, top of the fourth. 3 hitless innings so far for Rowe, and it's back to the top of the order with Tyler Lewandowski, who struck out in the first. Rowe so far 3 innings, 7 strikeouts. And this one is cranked out to left center field. Catch will be made, though, by Wood. Third time we've seen loud contact here against Rowe. These 2 fly balls to Wood, and then the tough ground ball out that ended up being a nice play by Malimo at third base to get through the first inning. It's like Lewandowski was complaining about a patch of grass on the first base side that he sort of got tripped up on. And the umpires and Metuchen personnel are coming over to take a look at that as well. So we might see a little stoppage here. It looked like Lewandowski, we turned our focus away to see if Wood can make the catch, but I think Lewandowski stumbled a little bit. And we know the grass here, of course, this isn't maybe as great as some of the other baseball fields you might see in the conference, being completely honest. And there are some patchy areas. Of course, the field's used primarily for soccer in the fall. Of course, these fields are only used for baseball a few weeks out of the year, but looks like they might try to do something to try to alleviate this, because, of course, that is in the runner's path, especially if they're trying to build up some momentum and try to go for 2. And you don't want to see anybody getting hurt, just getting tripped up on something as fixable as that. So, little stoppage here. During the little stoppage, once again, let's take a look at some of your top hitters for the Bulldogs. And like we said, the seniors leading the way. Jack Barry at 6'11 with 15 RBI. Coonrich at 4'12 with 11. Matt Rowe 471, 10 RBI. Luke Schleck hitting 500 with 5 RBI. So the field delay here continues. Once again, this is Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. It's the top of the 4th inning. Metuchen leading 1-0. Bulldogs have left 5 runners on base today, but they did get the 1 run. It was a leadoff double by Jack Barry, who then got moved over on a ground out by Luke Schleck, and then another ground ball by Marcus Malimo. Instead of trying to go for the sure route at first, Tyler Lewandowski attempted to make the play at the plate. His throw was just late, and that would end up being the only run to this point. Matt Rowe so far has pitched 3 1/3 hitless innings, striking out 7. Still has only allowed 2 base runners so far this season and 33 strikeouts through 13 1/3 innings this season. But he definitely has to be frustrated right now when he's feeling it, pitching well, and has to get stopped by something like this, but I'm curious to see how they're going to take care of this. But clearly, it's about halfway up the first base line that Lewandowski got tripped up on. It looked like Tyler Lewandowski was okay. Might have pulled a little something, gotten a little tripped up, but looks like Coach Danek, the Metuchen coach, is also out there. They're seeing what they could possibly do, but there's clearly a stub of grass there just past halfway down the first base line towards the first base bag that everybody's taking a look at. And like I said, I don't know exactly how much our stream caught because I shifted to the other camera to see if Wood would make the catch as he did, but I believe Lewandowski got tripped up there, and we saw him and the Spotswood first base coach both pointing over to this patch. And now we've been stopped here for about 3 minutes or so. The Metuchen infield has convened along with the battery of Rowe and Lukoski over at the pitcher's mound. And it looks like Coach Leo Danek, Spotswood coach Glenn Fredericks, Metuchen first base coach Kenneth Smith, and a couple umpires have gathered over at the spot. And we'll see if anything is bound to happen right now. And taking a look at a replay, thanks to Ben Solaski for showing us it. We did catch it a little bit on the stream if you go back a couple of minutes. So if you go back about 4 minutes, actually, as they're doing this, something else is there's Matt Rowe is small tossing with Lukoski. I do have my other computer like I did for basketball, so I can pull up the stream and I can pull it up exactly to the replay and show it to you guys on here. But Lewandowski did clearly get tripped up by the grass that was there. So I'll pull it up and show off what just happened. So it looks like they're trying to put some stuff out right now to try to alleviate this situation as much as they can. So we're going to switch cameras just for a moment. It looks like they've gotten that situation all patched up and sorted out. They put in some soil there to just try to add a little bit more ground there. But if you watch very closely here on this replay, over in the top left corner, you see Lewandowski stumble just a little bit. You can see it looks like he rolled his ankle a little bit. And clearly the first base coach, rightfully so, had some concerns for Spotswood that he wanted that addressed. But it looks like we'll get back going here after about a 5-minute break. And thank you to everybody sticking with us through that as we are in the top of the 4th inning. 1 out. Matt Rowe gets back to work here. And the first pitcher to the opposing pitcher, Kaminsky, gets in there for a strike. This one is a looper over to short. Slow hop. Fenton throws to first and got him. Nice job by Luke Schleck, despite the throw being a little offline, to keep his left foot on the bag and preserve the no-hit season still for Rowe. And Fenton, a good job charging on the ball there. So 2 away, and Luke Johnson, who struck out looking on 3 pitches in the first inning, will come up to bat here. Johnson, 375, 8 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Metuchen, of course, offensively wants to score as many runs as they can, because the pitching staff for Spotswood is really good. Vialba, 0.55 ERA, 2.52 for Paulson, and the current starter Kaminsky at 1.75 coming into this game. As a swing and a miss there, 1 ball and 2 strikes now from Rowe to Johnson with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And in there, strike three called. Luke Johnson thought he was going to get hit by that. What movement on that pitch from Matt Rowe as he freezes in their 8th strikeout now for Matt Rowe. He's through 4 scoreless innings to this point. Metuchen will come back to bat, hoping to not strand more runners. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Bulldogs 1, Chargers nothing. So here we go, bottom of the 4th inning. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Beautiful day, Friday afternoon, approaching mid-May, approaching the middle of this baseball season. 60 degrees, first of 2 here between Metuchen and Spotswood. Both these teams undefeated in the Blue Division. After this series, if they split it, we will keep a tie. If someone can sweep this series, then they will be in sole possession of first place in the Blue Division. At the very least, for tonight, the winner of this game is in sole possession of P1 in the Blue Division. Kaminsky gets ready to work here in the bottom of the 4th, and the first pitch is cracked out to right field. Nice running catch right there by Frobosilo. And Schleck is retired. So Schleck gives one a ride, but not enough. And that's quickly a loud first out of the bottom of the 4th. And Malimo, who has driven in the only run so far in this game, will bat here, and he takes the first pitch low for a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes here to Marcus Malimo. The windup from Kaminsky. Hard cutter down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Had a lot of speed on that and also a lot of movement. I think Malimo expected from straight heat and got fooled as that pitch even got away from the catcher back there. Kaminsky with the 1-1. And that one is a swing and a miss. Again, skips away from the catcher. That's fine right now, but when you have Metuchen base runners on, potentially, you can't be doing that, especially when we've seen how bold Lukowski has been, trying to take bases twice. Successful the second time, not so great the first time. Anyway, 1 and 2 here to the 8th man in the Metuchen order, and Malimo watches that one break off the plate, and the count is even now at 2 and 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Kaminsky to Malimo, and that one's going to miss inside, 3 and 2. Bulldog offense today so far, 3 hits, a couple of walks, and hit by 3 pitches. Malimo, blooper, shallow right, coming in, and it's going to fall in for a base hit in front of Frobosilo. So Marcus Malimo, who, like we said, was struggling with the bat, only hitting 125 coming into this, has his 2nd hit of the game. So a weak chopper, and now a small blooper into right field tucked in against the line, but that's enough for a 2-for-2 day so far. He has 2 of Metuchen's 4 hits now against Kaminsky. And for the 4th straight inning, Metuchen has a base runner, and no surprise here as Kaminsky starts the cycle of checking on runners over at first.
And looks like Randy Cookers Valley held them off.
First pitch is low for a ball. Any commotion here outside? It looks like there's a relay going on right now in the freshman-sophomore meet for track. which, like we said, I think I've explained a couple times before, but where we are, I'm calling this game off a monitor in the press box of the football field. And at the football field is where the track meet is going on. The baseball game is going on way behind us at the back baseball field. So it's definitely different, but we're definitely glad from the Metuchen Education Foundation grant back in the winter to be able to broadcast these games with a high production value. As that pitch is going to miss low and away for a ball.
Followed by 2 girls sections. Then we're going to move to the 2 varsity events.
And especially since, there's very limited seating at our baseball stadium here in Metuchen for parents or anybody who wants to come to the game, can't go or doesn't want to because of the pandemic as Kaminsky steps off. We're glad we've been able to provide an outlet for you to tune in and watch your favorite Bulldogs take the field. And we're excited on Tuesday to once again bring you coverage as the girls' softball team will try to continue their unbeaten season against Middlesex. As that pitch is taken upstairs for a ball here by Fenton. Fenton hitting .294 this season with 6 RBI, had gone into a funk after he had that huge breakout game against South River. That one's in there for a strike. Fenton, of course, big shoes to fill in the middle infield, replacing Jay Harry at shortstop. Harry had been a staple over there at short for the last 4 years. Here's the pitch to Fenton. And that one is in there, strike 3. Actually, strike 2, rather. My bad there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Fenton. Malimo at first with 1 out. This time it's strike 3 called, so Fenton will go down looking. 4 strikeouts for Kaminsky. He has 1 per inning so far, and now 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. And this will bring up Alex Wood, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking in the first and a ground out to shortstop in the second. And Kaminsky steps off and throws to first, but Malimo back in easily.
And then he'll be up. All varsity 400-meter dash runners. Get your spikes on.
And that pitch is sort of going to dust Wood off a little bit. The catcher kind of almost bounced into him there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Metuchen has already stranded 5 on base today, a team that has typically capitalized at scoring runs. Kaminsky has certainly allowed base runners, has been a little wild at times with the 3 hit by pitches and 2 walks, but honestly is doing pretty good here in silencing this Metuchen offense, which has scored at least 7 runs in every game this season to this point. Actually, 5 runs in 1 game against St. Thomas. That pitch is going to get away. Like I said, if he was going to pitch with the curveballs in the dirt, it's dangerous when there's a runner on base, and he pays for it there as Malimo advances to scoring position. But they've scored at least 5 or more. They've scored at least 5 runs in every game this season, more than 5 in all but 1. And Kaminsky has held Metuchen to 1 run and forced them to strand a lot of runners on base. They had first and third in the first inning, didn't score anybody. Left a runner at first in the second, had first and second in the third, and now have a runner at second with 2 strikes and 2 outs here in the 4th. And Wood watches that one bounce off the plate. And the inning will continue here. Kaminsky checks on Malimo, decent lead off second, and he'll step off, fakes a throw, and Malimo back into second base. This one is going to be popped third base side,
Right now, this is second section.
and side retired as the catch is made. Metuchen will strand a runner in scoring position after 4. Bulldogs 1, Chargers 0. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Welcome back here to the Bulldog Report. Matt Rowe is continuing his path. Coming into this game, had 10 innings pitched, hitless innings with 26 strikeouts, just 2 walks. He's continued that now through 14 innings this season. Still has not allowed a hit. That would be 2 no-hitters if he did it in full, and he's now up to 34 strikeouts. He has 8 so far for this game. But you see Metuchen, there's been questions beyond him in the starting staff. Luke Schleck, his ERA a little inflated because of that one start against North Hunterdon. Norwood and Malimo, though, younger pitchers with no varsity experience on the mound entering the season, doing a really good job in supplementary roles. And they're hoping Matt Rowe can pitch a little more consistently in terms of being on the mound a lot. He missed a bit of time after that first start where he threw 110 pitches and threw the opening day no-hitter against St. Thomas Aquinas. Didn't pitch again until this past Monday. Only went 3 innings. It was rainy conditions. Metuchen was dominating against Dunellen, and they decided to pull him prior to the mercy rule being employed, and they let Max Kunrich finish that game out. He only had 38 pitches, so he's able to work pretty deep in today's game after only 3 days rest. And the first pitch is going to miss there to Jeff Osborne, who struck out in the second inning. So Rowe struck out 2 in the first, struck out the side in the second, got 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. And now we'll face Osborne, Walsh, and Williams here in the top of the 5th. And that pitch is going to get in there for a strike. Rowe has been dynamic. He's got the fastball working, also some off-speed stuff that he's been able to locate within the strike zone, but it's been deadly enough as this one is chopped out to left field. It'll be played on the hop, and it's the first hit allowed by Matt Rowe this season. So after 14 innings pitched, Matt Rowe finally allows a hit, and it's a bloop single to left field for Jeff Osborne. And Spotswood now has the tying run at first base as Rowe has not gotten the run support and a lot of runners left on base so far throughout this game. So it looks like they'll send in a pinch runner here over at first. Osborne does not have a ton of speed, but Jackson Walsh will bat. .318 on the year at the plate with 6 RBI, a junior, and it's Chris Stanaway who will be the runner at first. And like we said, 45 steals this season. Rowe, pickoff move. Just the third base runner Rowe is allowed here in his third start. And the run ends after 14 hitless innings, and he's hoping he can start another streak right here. And that pitch is going to miss upstairs. But it's a very slim lead here for Rowe to protect, just 1-0. The 1 run coming in the bottom of the second on an RBI grounder by Marcus Malimo. And a play at the plate, a late throw from Tyler Lewandowski. And Jack Barry was declared safe. They'll bring in the infield and Marcus Malimo looking for a potential bunt. But Rowe steps off and Malimo backs up. Very curious to see if they do employ the bunt. Try to do some fundamental baseball. That's how Metuchen got through the last inning, but not bunting here, taking all the way, and that's a fastball, outer part of the zone for a strike. Stanaway at first. Nobody out. Top of the 5th, Metuchen by 1. Rowe fires to first. Stanaway dives back in.
This is the 800 play.
Here's the offering from Rowe. It's going to be a bunt, perfectly placed. That'll get the runner to second. Rowe throws to first to retire Jackson Walsh, but a fielder's choice will get Stanaway into scoring position. And all of a sudden, we have a huge matchup here as Matt Rowe will face off with the hottest hitter coming in Ethan Williams. .633 average, 12 RBI, homer shy of the cycle on Tuesday. And he has a chance here to even up the score. And he swings and misses there at a slider down and in for a strike, 0-1. Stanaway, the slight lead off second. And that one cut on and missed for a strike, 0-2. But Metuchen had some good fundamental baseball with the ground balls. Not trying to swing really for power, just for contact, just to get the runners moving. No, it's a low-scoring game. But now that Spotswood has finally gotten a base runner on, we're seeing them employ similar tactics. And this one is sent foul. Rowe again checks on Stanaway. He's making all kinds of moves out there. And that one's going to miss low for a ball. Spotswood really trying to get in Rowe's head. He is not allowed to run this season now through 14 1/3 innings. There's a pitch from Rowe. Swing and a miss. Williams goes down swinging for the second out. Strikeout number 9 for Rowe. And now Roman Carone hitting .444 this season with 2 RBI, 4 stolen bases. Will look to give the Chargers the lead, or at least tie this game. And a swing and a miss there for a strike. 1-0 your score. Metuchen's 1 run, as we said. Second inning, Marcus Malimo drove in Jack Barry on a ground ball single.
Okay, we're good down here.
Metuchen has left 6 runners on base through 4 innings. Spotswood, this is their first base runner of the game. And that one's in there. 2 strikes now. So a leadoff single by Osborne. A fielder's choice sac bunt from Walsh. Got him over to second, and then a strikeout as this one cut on, just getting a piece and fouling it off there was Carone. Metuchen will have the heart of the order. Lukaski, Rowe, and Dillon up to face Kaminsky in the bottom of the 5th. Action in the Spotswood bullpen as Rowe throws back to second. Weiss puts on the tag, but Stanaway back in safely.
Up next, boys, 400.
Cut on and miss. Strike 3. Matt Rowe works through trouble, allows his first hit of the season, but strands the runner at second and protects the lead. 10 strikeouts through 5 innings for Rowe. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Metuchen still on top, 1-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. This is Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. It's been a fun game so far between Spotswood and Metuchen. First of two in this home and home set between the two teams considered the best in the Blue Division. Their statistics certainly show that. They're both 6-0 right now, unbeaten in divisional play. Kaminsky so far has done a solid job. He's through 4 innings. He's allowed 4 hits, a run. He's hit 3 batters. He's walked 1. And he struck out 4. And it'll be Lukaski, who's been hit twice. And this time it's a strike right down the middle to start the at-bat.
All right, the track is still live. Track is still live.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Lukaski. Kind of chopped down at that one and fouled it off behind him. So no balls, 2 strikes here. From Kaminsky to Lukaski. Here's the pitch. Another hard foul ball. Lukaski, 357, a home run, 6 RBI. Only Metuchen player with an actual home run that was not due to an error. We had a bunch of inside the park home runs against South River. As this one is chopped over to second, this will be a tough play. Trying to barehand it and unable to do so is Jackson Walsh. It bounces right back to Kaminsky. And Lukaski beats it out for an infield single. Was going to be a tough play anyway. But Walsh, instead of moving over, thought it would be quicker to try to get it with the bare hand. And that did not pay off at all. And now it's Matt Rowe who dribbles the first pitch foul. Lukaski already got thrown out on the base paths once and also stole a base today. He's created some of the most action we've seen all game. As Rowe takes that one in there, and Kaminsky quickly head 0-2 against the Bulldog 3-hitter. Nick Dillon is on deck. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Rowe. Takes that fastball upstairs for a ball. Chuck back on first, Lukaski in safely. I almost felt like in the last go-around, Lukaski wasn't going to steal the base, but when Kaminsky became so concerned with him, then the one pitch he didn't, he chose to do so. As Rowe drives one deep out to right center field. Catch is going to be made out there by Frobosilo, and Lukaski is forced to revert back to first base. So that's the first out, as Matt Rowe flies out to right. So one away, and Nick Dillon now, who singled, was stranded at first in the opening inning and then struck out looking in the third. 1 for 2 so far in his line today. Kaminsky checks on first, and Lukaski's back in safely. So some of the best games here, by far, have been from Marcus Malimo and Ian Lukaski, who have combined for 3 for 3. They have an RBI combined and have reached base 5 times.
Not hanging out here.
As that pitch is in there for a strike. Another check back at first, and once again, no surprise, Lukaski's back in safely, but Kaminsky continues to be careful. And Lukaski's going to go for second. There's the throw to second, and they got him, I think, or no, I don't. Looks like he's safe.
Boys, see the section. 400.
They had him. And it looked like Lewandowski was unable to hold on. So Lukowski somehow has 2 stolen bases as the catcher, daring Kaminsky once again and getting himself into scoring position. And that's something Metuchen needs to do here if they want a chance to extend this lead. Got a great jump. Once again, waited for the one pitch where Kaminsky was not looking at him. Got a huge jump. Was going to be out if that was done cleanly. It was a good throw. A little bit low, and Lewandowski couldn't handle it. If he had done that properly, it would have been an easy out. At first pitch is fouled off. So Dylan at the plate. Ian Lukowski at second. One out. Massive lead for Lukowski and a big cut by Dylan, and he fouls that one back to the screen. Here's the pitch. That one's going to skip away. Lukowski is going to get over to third, and he'll hold up there. So a wild pitch. So a steal and a wild pitch. Lukowski is now over to third with one out. And that's ball 4 to Dylan. So now runners on the corners. Second walk drawn by the Dogs so far, and they have their best chance to expand this lead yet. And it looks like a meeting at the mound here. And we'll see if this is it for Kaminsky, who has pitched very well so far, but is responsible for both runs on base. I think they're just talking to him right now and letting him work through this. But this will be a huge at-bat for both teams. Max Kunrich, who has had a quiet day so far, grounded to the pitcher's mound to end the potential rally in the first inning and strand 2 runners, and then was hit with a pitch in the third. Kunrich had a big 3-run triple to start the scoring for the Dogs on Monday. And we've got a big at-bat coming up. Stay with us here. We'll see what happens. Bottom of the 5th inning. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. All right, so here we go. Max Kunrich, batting .412 with 11 RBI coming into the game. Huge chance right here, and he takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Lukowski got on with a single to start the inning, then stole second, advanced to third on a wild pitch that was a walk to Dylan, and that's where we're at right now, as that pitch is upstairs to Kunrich. After Kunrich, it's Jack Barry, who's already doubled today. Kaminsky looks in for the sign. Checks the runners. This pitch now going to second is Dylan. There was nobody there at first, and now there are 2 runners in scoring position as Metuchen swipes their 3rd bag of the day. So Nick Dillon gets in on the base thievery, and now Metuchen has a pair in scoring position with a big chance to expand this lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And with Matt Rowe looking at least a little bit vulnerable for the first time really all season, be perfect for them to expand this lead right here. As Kunrich watches that one go low. Second and third, 1 out. Metuchen, like we said, have already stranded 6 on base through the first 4 innings. Would not like to do that again, as that one gets away, takes an awkward bounce back there, but nonetheless it's ball 4, and it was unable for Lukaski to get a jump to head home. But Kunrich now draws a walk, so back-to-back walks here, and the bases are loaded, so Kaminsky has nowhere to put him.
Here are the results of the girls 1600.
As Lewandowski comes in for a quick conversation, and they're going to stick with Kaminsky, it looks like, at least for now. And it looks like Coach Danik coming over for a quick conversation.
Valley by 14-04. Fourth place, Rancocas Valley A.
Barry will be batting.
54. Third place,
Danik heads back down the third base line,
501.
as they will be bringing in a pinch runner for Kunrich over at first. That's going to be Jackson Fenner, who is not hitting today and has been struggling with the bat, missed the first couple games, and is still hitless so far this season. Lukaski at third, Dillon the runner at first, Dillon at second, Fenner at first. Metuchen leading 1-0, bottom of the fifth. Looking to expand the lead here against Spotswood, as the winner assumes sole possession of first place in the Blue Division. Kaminsky has been decently sharp, but has also been able to get the clutch ground out, the clutch fly out throughout the game to avert any sort of trouble. Metuchen's only run came with some help on a ground ball, and Lewandowski with a late throw home as he was a little indecisive on what to do. And it cost him the split second that could have ultimately kept this game tied. But now Metuchen looking to create some breathing room and add some comfort here for Rowe with the sacks full. First pitch. Barry cuts and fouls that one off down the first base line. 15 RBI this season for Barry. He doubled and scored in the second, grounded out in the third, 1 for 2 on the day, and has a chance to add to that RBI total in a big way right here. 0-1 from Kaminsky. That one's taken upstairs and away for a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Barry. Barry drives one out to right field. This could play to run. Coming in is Frobosilo with the catch. Coming home and tagging and scoring is Lukaski, and the lead is 2-0. So Jack Barry with a sac fly gets the job done and doubles the Bulldog lead, while Dillon advances to third. Fenner stays at first. So now Schleck will bat with runners at the corners here in the fifth inning. 2-0 your score. First pitch is low for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one cut foul down the right side for Schleck. 0 of 2 today. Grounded out to second in the second to get the runner over to third base, and then flew out to deep right with Frobosilo making the catch. If Kaminsky can get out of this with just the one run after allowing the bases to be loaded, that would be huge. This one, a hard ground ball to second. They'll go the easy way to second base. Nice flip there from Jackson Walsh over to Lewandowski, who was covering the bag, and a fielder's choice will end the inning. And again, Metuchen strands 2 more runners. They've left 8 on base, but they do add to the lead. After 5, Bulldogs 2, Chargers nothing. Matt Rowe back out to the mound. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Bulldog Report. I'm Eddie Kalegi. So taking a look, upcoming games tomorrow, Metuchen plays Spotswood again on the baseball land, 10 a.m. So it's a quick turnaround for both of these teams. This game likely will finish up around 6 o'clock, so just 16 hours later, they will have to get back at it once again. As for softball, they've got a home game on Tuesday against Middlesex, the first of 2 home games next week. They also have a big home game on the 18th against St. Thomas. And most of your home games throughout the season you can see live right here on the Bulldog Report. So Matt Rowe so far today, well, at least he proved he was somewhat human. He allowed a hit. It was a single that fell in from Jeff Osborne. But that is the only hit so far out to left field. There have been a couple of hard hit balls, a couple of flyouts. Alex Wood has had a couple of nice catches in center field today. As Rowe will face Vital, Rowe, and Lewandowski, 8, 9, and 1 in the Charger order, as he is 6 outs away from his second shutout of the season. And that pitch in there for a strike. A flame-throwing fastball right there from Rowe. There was some action in the Spotswood bullpen as that pitch gets away. Looks like it's actually Jeff Osborne, the first baseman, who was warming up. Doing some long tosses, and it looks like the bullpen catcher's going to be putting on his mask, and they're going to get ready for some actual pitches now. As Vital takes a late timeout, and Rowe ends up just lollipopping one over there. Here's the pitch from Rowe. This one cut on, fouled way off into the lot. Here's the pitch from Rowe. Oh, that buzzed him inside. Did that get him? I don't think so. Vital dodged it, but that's the second pitch that's been way off from Rowe here in the 6th, and you're wondering if the fatigue is starting to come in a little bit. Not an incredibly high pitch count, but we do remember there has to be some strain after throwing 110 pitches, even if it's been a while since then, in his first start in almost 2 years in high school competition. Nonetheless, half swing by Vital. They'll say he went around. Strikeout number 11 now for Rowe. So 1 out, and Brobacillo, who's played a nice game in right field for the Chargers, will bat here. He struck out swinging in the 3rd. And the first pitch is low and away for a ball. Bulldogs will have Marcus Malimo, Joseph Fenton, and Alex Wood due up in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading this game 2-0. This one, looper, second base, that's going to fall, and there will be no play at first. A pop-up that kind of died in the wind out there. It's gotten a little chillier, a little cloudier. Lucas Weiss couldn't really see where that one was going, and it ends up falling in for the second hit of the day. And Brobacillo, who is hitting .417 this season, is on base with 1 out. So Rowe allows his second hit so far, and now 1 out, 1 on for Tyler Lewandowski, who struck out in the 1st and flew out on the first pitch of the 4th inning on a nice catch by Alex Wood. And the first pitch gets inside, and they're going to say it hit him. Just barely clipped him. The batting helmet came flying off for Lewandowski as he kind of swung away. And Matt Rowe, who had only allowed 2 base runners this season coming into this start, has now allowed 2 this inning. And a 2-run lead, I mean, you still got to be careful here. And the Metuchen bullpen has not been great this season. Dillon's allowed 4 runs in 3 1/3 innings. Mielichin got knocked around in his one appearance. Kuhnrich has 2 scoreless innings so far, but like we said, has only pitched 2 innings. So you wonder about some of the long relief. And you also don't want to burn them out necessarily in a Rowe start when you might need them when, say, Luke Schleck or Benjamin Norwood, who aren't as conducive to going the distance, are starting, and you might need some relief. But then again, this is a very important game. Metuchen does not want to let this slip away, but they've certainly let a helping of opportunities slip away already in this game. They could have scored a lot more than 2 runs. They had the bases loaded and 1 out there. They've stranded 8 runners through 5 innings on the Metuchen side of the ball. And a swing and a miss right there from Kaminsky. Two nothing your score. And this one's going to be a bouncing ball to third, and they'll step on the bag for 1. Throw to first is going to be late, but heads up play by Malimo to get the lead runner. So a fielder's choice, and there's 2 away. So Frobisilo out at third, and this will bring up Luke Johnson. But that was a great job by Malimo, who doesn't play every day at all at third base, and does a great job right there. Takes an awkward hop, and then just steps back and steps on the third base back. So really impressive there. And Luke Johnson, who has struck out twice looking and has looked completely overmatched so far today against Rowe, is hoping third time's the charm here in his third at bat. Matt Rowe nearly getting the Jacob deGrom treatment today with, pitching lights out and not getting much support from his offense. With just the 2 runs on 5 hits so far for Metuchen, with 8 runners left on base. Rowe was perfect through 4 innings, allowed 1 hit in the first, and then now a single and a hit batsman in the 6th. As that pitch there was upstairs. Four more outs necessary for Rowe and the Bulldogs to escape with the Blue Division lead in their sole possession for at least another day. As that pitch in there for a strike, nice fastball, outer part of this plate. Rowe checks the runners. First and second, here's the pitch. That one's in there, 2 strikes now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, Luke Johnson, who's already been frozen twice today. Rowe looking for his 12th strikeout and to work around some potential damage here in the 6th. Runners are going, and both will advance to scoring position with the infield playing back. So Kaminsky moves over to second. Lewandowski at third. Here's the pitch. That one is outside. Ball 4. Bases loaded. So the sacks are full now for Matt Rowe. And a conversation at the mound and a big at-bat coming up here. Just his 3rd walk of the season, compared to an astounding 37 strikeouts through, to this point now, 15 2/3 innings. And Jeff Osborne, who singled to left in the 5th and struck out in the 2nd, will have a major plate appearance here. Top of the 6th inning, 2-0, bases loaded, 2 outs. This plate appearance could be really decisive in the end of this game. First pitch from Rowe is going to miss for a ball. Inning started, 1 out single for Frobisilo on an awkward pop-up that fell in front of Lucas Weiss in the infield. Lewandowski was hit with a pitch. Kaminsky reached on a fielder's choice for the second out. Luke Johnson drew the walk to load the bases. And now Rowe has fallen behind 2-0 here with the bases loaded to Jeff Osborne. Is going to be forced to give him a pretty straightforward pitch here. Here's the pitch from Rowe. Allen's in there for a strike. We knew this was going to be the most difficult four-game stretch maybe of the regular season for Metuchen, and it's certainly proving it, but they're hoping to keep this lead. That one misses upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike with nowhere to put him. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Spotswood looking to break through with the first run of the season against Matt Rowe. Walsh on deck. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. The count is full. Massive pitch here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Metuchen by 2. Lakaski with the sign. Rowe the pitch. Runners in motion. Strike 3 called. Outside corner. Got him. Matt Rowe gets him looking. 12th strikeout. And works through the bases loaded jam. Side retired. What a pitch from Rowe. He battles back from down 3-1. And Spotswood is kept off the board. Biggest trouble that he's found himself in all season, but Rowe proving he's ready for Rutgers and pitches through the jam. 12 Ks in 6 innings for Rowe, and Metuchen maintains the 2-run lead. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Bulldogs 2, Chargers nothing. Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. We'll be back in a moment. Bottom of the 6th inning, Metuchen with maybe their biggest moment of the season so far, as Spotswood, who had not gotten many runners on base so far in the game, Matt Rowe, in his toughest situation of the season, gets out of it with the bases loaded and 2 outs, with a strikeout looking after falling behind 3-1. To the cleanup hitter, Jeff Osborne. Osborne now goes from that huge scenario to try to keep the deficit at just 2 heading into the 7th, which will be the final chance for the Chargers as he takes the mound. Final line for Casey Kaminsky. He went 5 innings, allowing 5 hits, 3 walks. 3 batters were hit by pitches. He allowed 2 earned runs and struck out 4. So not a terrible day, especially against this Metuchen offense, who, like we said, have scored at least 5 runs in every game so far this season. But definitely would have hoped for more, as he's been outdueled by Matt Rowe to this point. So now here's Marcus Malimo, who's 2 for 2, including an RBI single on a ground ball back in the 2nd. Here's the 0-1 pitch, cut on and missed, and Osborne quickly ahead 0-2. Jeff Osborne has pitched well in his varsity career. He has not allowed a run or a hit so far. He's pitched 5 hitless innings, 2 in 2019, 3 in 2020. That might change right here as a blooper out to second base, and Malimo looks like he got himself a base hit. Actually, that was actually caught. I was panning between the camera, my bad there. Thought that fell in over at shortstop. That was kind of cut off on our camera. We're doing the best we can here, but Malimo is actually going to be retired right there on a pop out to the shortstop side. I thought that took a bounce, but Regardless, one away. And Joseph Fenton with a huge hack, and that's going to be 0-1. Fenton has been streaky. He had that really good second game, like we mentioned, against South River, getting the start there. But has struck out twice today, batting .294 with 6 RBI coming into today's game. There's the pitch from Osborne. This one fouled off, and now 2 strikes here against the 9-hole hitter with Alex Wood due up next. Osborne, the wind-up, the pitch. That one's high. Doesn't have the most maybe imposing appearance out there as a pitcher, but he throws it hard. And I don't think these hitters really see it coming that quickly, and their timing has been way off so far. 1-2, Fenton watches that one low. I think he almost thought that was strike 3, but in there for a ball. He gets a break, and the count is even at 2-2. Here in the bottom of the 6th. And a little confusion on the signs, and Osborne steps off. Roman Carone has taken over first base, where Osborne was getting a lot of work in. Kind of warmed up his arm with all the tosses he had to do back on the pickoffs as Fenton chases one out of the zone. He goes down swinging for the 3rd time today. And now 2 outs for Alex Wood. But the Bulldogs just narrowly escaped that last inning, which could have been really bad, but Rowe got the huge strikeout. Is this one a bouncer? Caught in the mitt, throw to first, got him, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Osborne in relief. Now 6 hitless innings in his high school career. Last chance coming up for Spotswood, trailing by 2, heading into the 7th inning. Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. Stick with us as Metuchen looks to take sole possession of first place in the GMC Blue Division. So here we go. Top of the 7th, Matt Rowe, after Metuchen, seemingly the moment they were back up there, it was like they were heading right back to the dugout. Very quick 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 6th inning for Osborne. And Matt Rowe, after having to work as hard as probably he has all season long, is right back out there here for the 7th inning. It'll be Jackson Walsh, Ethan Williams, and Roman Carone due up 5, 6, 7 for the Chargers. None of them have a hit yet today. 4 perfect innings, and then 2 hits, a walk, and a hit by pitch. And Spotswood left them loaded last inning. That pitch is going to miss low, 1-1. 1-1 offering is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. 12 strikeouts so far today for Rowe. He struck out 18 in the no-hitter in the season opener. Then struck out 8 in his second game. in 3 innings of work in the rain on Monday, and that pitch is upstairs for a ball. So now 2 starts in a 4-day span. We know we're not going to see him for quite a while now. Luke Schleck has not pitched since last Saturday. Benjamin Norwood has also gotten a break for a few days, so not sure which one is starting tomorrow's game. Norwood pitching well to a 3.11 ERA. Schleck pitched really well in his first start, then got knocked around in the second. As strike 3 rung him up, 13 strikeouts as he gets number 13. Jackson Walsh looking. Once again, Rowe freezes a hitter, fools him, and he's 2 outs away from giving Metuchen the win, which would get them to 9-1 and 7-0 in the Blue Division. Now Ethan Williams, who's coming off of that 3-for-3 day. He's 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts so far. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in the Spotswood order have all struck out multiple times today. Here's the pitch from Rowe. That one off the plate for a ball. Roman Corone on deck. Here's the pitch. This one popped up third base side, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Ethan Williams. Here's the pitch. This one, blooper, coming out, diving, and making the catch is Lucas Weiss. What a play for the second out. Schleck lost it, decided to duck. Weiss had to come over to the first base side, catches it, traps it just before it hit the ground, and the Chargers are down to their final out. So Rowe gets a nice assist from his defense, and it's down to Roman Corone. 4 for 8 coming in on the season, now hitting .400 for the year. As Rowe looks for the shutout, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. In there, strike 2, and Spotswood down to their final strike. Both teams came in at 6-0 in the Blue Division. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Ball game. Matt Rowe does it, and Metuchen wins it 2-0. 14 strikeouts over 7 scoreless innings for Matt Rowe. Allows just 2 hits, a walk, a hit by pitch. K's 14, and the Bulldogs are in sole possession of first place in the Blue Division at 7-0, 9-1 overall, and we'll look for the 2-game sweep tomorrow afternoon in Spotswood. The Chargers dropped to 7-3 overall, suffer their first Blue Division defeat. The losing pitcher is Casey Kaminsky, who went 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 runs, and struck out 4. What an exciting game, and the Bulldogs, a huge momentum shifter. It was a tough day for their offense. They left 8 runners on base, but it was enough, and they got the job done. A thank you to everybody who tuned in for today's game. Thank you to Ben Solaski and Mr. Cathcart for helping us set everything up. I'm Eddie Kalegi signing off here on the Bulldog Report. Once again, your final score, Metuchen 2, Spotswood 0.